300 years of history and look for all the black people that fit the description you just said.
Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that.
I wonder, did you look at Bill Cosby as a father figure? Because you were around him so much, you did so much acting, like
right,
and I mean, you were a good actor, but it was believable. It seems like
at 9
you did
years
a great
old.
job.
Oh, right. No, because I my father has always been, an integral part of my life. So I have a father. He was, Mr. Cosby was obviously someone I worked with, someone I respected. But Ennis was also, a close friend of mine. So he was also like Ennis's dad.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't. I would definitely say he was a mentor because he schooled me.
Malcolm was always embracing relationships with everybody he worked with.
So why did Malcolm Jamal Warner's death feel off? It wasn't just a tragic accident. Something about it hit deeper, especially after Katt Williams started connecting dots that no one else dared to mention. According to reports, Malcolm died while saving his daughter from a rip current. A heroic ending. But the details didn't sit right. It happened on a beach with no lifeguards, where signs already warned of dangerous conditions. There were no drugs, no scandals, no signs of a troubled man. He was there, celebrating his daughter's birthday. And just like that, he vanished into the waves. It all sounded a little too familiar.
Right off the bat, the internet seemed very perplexed about how does an accidental drowning occur. I immediately thought of Matthew Perry and Whitney Houston. They had the same cause of death, so we know where that came from. No illicit behavior, nothing, no smoking gun that you can really point to other than a powerful current in the ocean while you were swimming with your family on vacation, which is like maybe the most tragic circumstance.
How does it feel, this sudden stardom?
It's great. I mean, it was nothing I was expecting. You think for a long time about how you win a series, and you never really expect it to be a big success, but no one knew it would be this big.
What do you like best about her?
Matthew Perry, Whitney Houston. Drowning has become Hollywood's cleanest way to erase someone. What happened next was even more chilling. The moment the news broke, Hollywood rushed to mourn him. Suddenly, everyone had something kind to say. He was a genius, an underrated icon. But where was all this love when he was alive? The industry barely gave him his flowers. And now they were handing out bouquets by the dozen. Katt Williams has been warning people about this game for years. He's spoken about actors being forced to humiliate themselves, to play clowns, to wear dresses just to get roles. He said it bluntly. If you don't play their game, they don't cancel you out loud. They just stop calling. Slowly, silently, you disappear.
Malcolm Jamal Warner's last video is such a powerful message of who he was as a person. And I think it's important for you guys to see one of his very last videos that he ever posted on social media before he passed.
What's good? Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. What? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And, life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like, if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So, find a smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
Malcolm never played their game. He turned down roles that mocked black men. He refused to be turned into a caricature. He was called too serious, too black, too honest. And that was enough for Hollywood to shut the door. But Malcolm didn't fade. He turned his back on the machine and focused on real impact. He was more than Theo Huxtable. He was a Grammy-winning spoken word artist, a thoughtful director, a dedicated father, and a fierce advocate for integrity. His last video, posted just hours before his death, was a soft, loving clip of him with his daughter. No drama, no chaos, just love, then silence. The official report ruled it an accidental drowning. But how accidental was it really? On a remote beach with no lifeguards, only one person didn't make it. A surfer was able to save his daughter. But not him? That's hard to believe. Especially when you know what Malcolm had been doing behind the scenes.
Chances of all. Everything was good, you're hanging out with your family, you're on vacation, you're making memories, and next thing you know, a rip current rips you away, and that's all she wrote. I honestly don't know what's worse. Something that's regrettable and reckless leaves you wondering why and how did we miss this and could this have been avoided. Something like this, though, is just like 1 minute you're good and the next minute you're gone. With your family there, and I'm sure they were trying to save you, and oh my God, that is absolutely gut-wrenching. Just one of those examples of how Mother Nature can be an absolute deadly force. So once again, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner, gone at the age of 54, simply from a rip current while swimming with his family. Oh.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day. Kevin told you he wasn't going to wear no dress until...
No. Oh, no.
So they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. It's all right.
Many people have been saying that Kevin Hart was getting very uncomfortable in this interview because this interviewer brought up the topic of Dave Chappelle rejecting to wear a dress, and so he asked Kevin Hart if he's been asked to wear a dress, and he said this.
The industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
Well, fast forward a couple of years after that interview, and he's been seen wearing a dress for a TV show. He can do what he wishes, but let me know your thoughts on
Kevin Hart wearing a dress in the SNL skit. And Dave Chappelle spoke about that as a comedian. Black actors are always, you know, being asked to wear dresses. Have you ran into that, and what do you think about that whole Illuminati theory that people put out there about that?
Well, thanks for that softball question. It's two answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than it.
And you put this dress on, and what? The prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So
He was speaking out. His podcast, Not All Hood, was a sharp critique of how black men are portrayed in media. He openly challenged the illusion of creative freedom in Hollywood. Even in music, he was different, turning away from the toxic trends in mainstream rap, urging artists to say something real. He wasn't just surviving, he was resisting. And that's where it gets dangerous. Because when you resist, when you speak out, when you don't bow, Hollywood takes notes. They may not say it, but they know who's controllable and who's not. Malcolm wasn't. And now they're rewriting his story in a way that feels too clean, too polished, too late. They celebrate him now because he's no longer a threat. But while he was alive, he was a reminder of what real integrity looks like. And that made people uncomfortable. So was this just a random tragedy? Or another case of the system doing what it does best, honoring black excellence only after it's been silenced? Because maybe the real danger isn't the ocean. Maybe it's what happens when you choose not to play the game. What are your thoughts about this? Please drop them in the comment below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel for more videos.